Okay, so if we're going to base, let's say, certain aspects of the Harris Waltz. It's Harris Waltz, right?
Yeah.
Harris Waltz platform, and most of that platform is predicated on women out loud, women productive rights. All right, so here's my thing about that. I'll lean into it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so there are pros and cons, but if you get to leaning into it too much, then it becomes a slippery slope once again. And let's say you get the right to do with the fetus that you want.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a problem with that. If you go down to the car lot and discuss with me, I want to go get a car. I'm like, all right, well, we've had that discussion. I don't think that you ought to get a car.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden you fall into, you get it, and it becomes a little bit overwhelming. And next thing you know, you can't make the payments.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you call the people and like, well, I did have a conversation about this car with my friend or my husband or my boyfriend, and you think y'all can get him to help pay for the car, because he did come with me to test drive it, although he did say he didn't want me to have a car or I shouldn't be getting it. But you think, and they gonna be like, no ma'am, that's your responsibility. All right, and so I said that to make it more clear. What I'm saying is, if you have a right to do with the fetus that you want, and let's just say you decide to have the child, and I don't want the child.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because you're strong and independent and you get to do what it is that you want with your body. If I figure that I don't want to have anything to do with the child, then you still get to get me to be held accountable and help you financially with the child. Well, here's the opposite side of that. I think, Jeremy Spann, and in the villain's perspective, if you abort my child, for the next 18 years, you need to pay me, because I wanted to have that child.
Mm.
It was my seed, and you aborted it. I should be compensated for the loss of my child that I wanted to have. Because don't I get a right as a father?
Not that for Virginie.
Right.
Ain't
He's
something?
ready, ain't he?
Ain't that something? You get what I'm saying? Because
Ooh,
if I'm going to be held
into it like
I know,
that.
but if I'm going to be held
good
accountable for this child, regardless of whether I want to or not,
right?
shouldn't I also have shouldn't I be taken into consideration when the child is taken away, aborted, or terminated? Well, you need to pay me because I wanted that child.
That's what therapy is for.
Well, therapy still has to be paid for.
Ooh, yes, it does.
And I'm going to therapy once a month for the next 18 years. And I think that because the woman terminated my child, she should have to pay for it.
Top notch villain.
I'm talking about I got a married bad.
Jeremy, you got in that Ford Virginie with your dirty boots, with no bags on them boots.
Nothing.
Cigarette and cigarette.
Yes, and that's the little window side, all your little
And gas.
Then you didn't get the plan B to clean out the Ford Virginie.
Nothing.
The day after.
You know. Pig pee to the rescue, baby.
Ooh, I love it here.
Baby, and I'm just giving, because and I said all that to say we have to be careful about what we're advocating for, because a lot of times, just like going back to when men were saying, baby, you need to be careful about, the friends and the company that you keep.
Yeah.
Get out of my way. I can have my friends. I can go where I want to go, and I can be. All of a sudden now,
Ooh.
Femininity
Yeah.
has femininity, just like power, has shifted hands.
Okay.
And now you have more strong women and more feminized men. And the men that were standing strong in their masculinity, now we're getting ridiculed and called toxic.
Mm.
So how am I toxic? Am I toxic because you see so many weak men? Or am I toxic because I'm not compromising on what I know what is best? Because if we're saying in terms of the Harris versus Trump, if I'm saying with my masculine mind, I'm voting based off of what is best for my family.
Okay.
And you say, well, I'm voting because I want to make history and she's black and she's a woman. Well, therein lies the problem, because now I still am doing what's best for my family, even though it don't feel good. I still got to do what it is I got to do. And you're still voting in contrast to the family based off of how it is that you feel and what it is that you want to do.
Yeah.
Because there is no platform to defend her from. There's no platform because I've talked to a lot of people and I've asked them, how do you plan on defending her and her platform outside of how you feel? What are your facts? What is it that she's done, or what is it that she said that you could take to a legitimate argument and articulate without emotion?
Okay.
Based off of this, and this. This is a better candidate than your candidate because according to those same bullet points, your candidate says blah, 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 blah. And because my candidate says this, I see that her perspective is better for the benefit of everybody in the United States. Because if we're just voting based off of reproductive rights, everybody doesn't have babies.
Right.
Has she? Do you guys feel like she has effectively defined her role as vice president and the impact she's had on key issues over the past 4 years?
Boy, you know,
He know how to ask the question, don't he?
you know that thing was absent for a little while. You know
Was she absent on purpose, or do you feel like, was she absent on purpose?
Okay, so the question is, was she absent on purpose? I don't get to not be at my job just because I don't agree with what's going on with the weather. I don't get to not work my shop because I don't agree with my land. Because my land, here's what it is that I had a full understanding, and this is as much transparency as I could possibly be on this particular show. Everybody's like, oh man, you're an entrepreneur, you're a boss, you blah, blah. No, my landlord, I answer to my landlord. Because if I don't cut hair, he can kick me out of this place.
Come on.
I don't have employees working for me. So under the circumstances, if I get sick, J. Gerard's go down. So what I'm saying is, I don't get to be absent because I don't agree with what the landlord, how he thinks or what he says or the way that he walks and or the what he drives. Or I don't get to just be absent. I still have to be held accountable. And so if she's the vice president, you don't just because, think about it like this. If she's absent, or let's say she was verbal and she was loud, let's say she was characteristically loud in a strong, independent Black woman voice, with a high pitch and repetitive with what she's saying and standing her ground. If the culture of white collar world or corporate America says that we all have to keep a certain tolerance. We all have to speak and utilize our words. We all have to convey what it is that we feel. And you don't get to disrespect anybody. You don't get to pop off. You don't get to grandstand. You have to conduct yourself like Asians do, like whites do, like Native Americans do, like Mexicans do, like everybody else. And then all of a sudden it's just like, well, I want to come in and I want to have a certain disposition, and it's a part of our culture. And if you can't handle a strong black woman, then that's your fault. But I'm gonna be able to say what I want to say, and I'm gonna roll my neck, and I'm gonna blow. Well, ain't nobody else in the office doing that. So if nobody is saying, if everybody's saying you don't get to conduct yourself like that, I'm also saying you don't get to go ghost just because you don't agree with shit. Because that's just like saying, if a Republican becomes the governor, I'm going to sit out for the next 4 years until he's gone. Now, how have you allowed this Republican or this Democrat or whoever it is that you don't agree with to run shit while you over here pout? You're actually doing more damage than the person that you should be giving some pushback to, or at least learn how to compromise with.
I asked this question. I asked someone else this question, and they told me,
I'm good.
He ready. He is ready.
they said, well, Joe Biden, he's not all there. Mm-hmm. And what if his mental state was so bad and she was actually running things, but they had to keep it quiet?
Okay, so well, if that were the case, if he's that bad off, he ain't there to defend. Even if you lied, right now he's so stupid and he's so out of it. Even if she lied and said all of the good stuff that happened during that administration, I would take advantage of the fact that he can't even articulate that I'm lying. It's no different than when I was saying, everybody was like, well, Donald Trump won't even debate Kamala Harris. It's like, and that's a good thing, because now she gets to say whatever it is she want to say, and there's nobody there to correct her. There's nobody there to say she's lying. This is the perfect opportunity for her to put out what it is that she want people to hear.
Yeah.
She was an absentee voter. It's like, this is the perfect, if Donald Trump if he did not want to, when he did not want to debate her, if she wanted to have the attention of all of the American people, because I guarantee you, if she did not want to debate him, and because he's such a fanatic, he's such a awesome liar. If he had the capability of showing up without anybody contesting what it is that he said, he would be there in a split second, lying his ass off. Yeah. Because people believe what they hear first. Right, wrong, or indifferent is better than not hearing nothing. He told me he loved me. She said that I was her only one.
So the people gotta hear something in order to. Okay. I get where you coming from.
Because women stay with the guy that's beating them, not the one that left.
But that's consistency. I tell people this all the time. If you want somebody to know better, you gotta be consistent with the goodness.
That's why I said, don't be concerned about whether or not I make you happy.
Yeah.
Be concerned about whether or not I'm here.
Present.
That's it. Because I don't know what right to do, but at least I'm here. Yeah. You tell a child that didn't have a father, or you tell a child whose father just sent money, I ain't want your money, I just wanted you there. Same thing to a people. Baby, you were gone for 4 years or 3 years. At least this lying bastard he give me something. He gave me something.
Plenty of lies.
He gave me plenty of lies the 4 years that he was there and the 4 years that he wasn't there. At least he was there still lying. And I ain't saying that I'm voting for him and that I agree, but I'm giving
Because it sounds like you're rallying the troops.
Oh, I know. But the only reason that it sounds like that I'm rallying the troops, and I've had this conversation plenty of times.
Yeah.
I'm saying it seems that way to most people because I'm speaking against who it is. I actually have been looking much more into Jill Stein than I have either of the two of them.
Okay.
Because Jill Stein has specifics.
Okay.
She has specifics. She has bullet points. She has facts, data, and statistics. And she has a blueprint as to what it is that she will specifically do first day in. And if we've sat and we've looked at the interview with Oprah, we looked at the debate, we looked at the town hall meetings, this is like, if Kamala Harris was a rapper, I would say, what's her best bar? They were like, I don't know.
You did it, Joe.
She ain't got nothing that you can be like, I'm sorry. What'd she say? Right. What did she say that you can take in front of somebody and be like, yeah.
We won't go back.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
That's her line.
But my thing is, go back to where, and in spite of going back where it is, I don't care.
That's her
where
bar.
I know, but I don't care where it is that we won't go back, because what was presented to me by a black male was, man, they trying to take us back. And I was like, take us back to where? And what is it that you're afraid of? He was like, man, they just trying to take us back to slavery. And I was like, all right, well, the presidents have very little effect on you. And the buffer that Trump has presented is, well, I'm gonna make everybody have states' rights. We're gonna let your state, wherever it is that you are, because it's badly. Basically when he's saying we're gonna give everybody states' rights, that's just like a president saying, I don't want to have to be responsible for whatever decisions that are made. I'm gonna let you get mad at your governor. Now let's go to the governor. Tate Reeves is backed by the sons of the Confederate and the daughters of the Confederate. And what a governor does affects you much more as a Mississippian than a president does.
Yeah.
So if you're afraid of going back to slavery, shit, you cannot be afraid of where Donald Trump is gonna take you, because he can affect you in Mississippi. And you letting slide the person that is not denouncing the sons of the Confederate, and you're a black person? You're not afraid of going back to slavery. You ain't afraid, you ain't scared of nothing. It's not a legitimate argument, because he's been in office for 8 years now. And he's backed and okay with being backed by the daughters of the Confederate who changed up the educational plan right after Reconstruction, who put up the monument down here that's still up there.
Don't go there. Don't go there. Oh,
get me started. Get him started.
Give him another question. Get him off of this. Get him away from there.
Do you feel like Donald Trump's political style has influenced? Do you feel like his leadership style has influenced political discourse in America?
Yeah, because so many people are politically correct, and there are so few masculine men. That's the only reason people are drawn to him. It's masculinity.
Because he's not afraid to say what he's thinking or what he just feels or anything that's truly, yeah. Yeah.
We miss masculinity.
Yeah. You're right.
And he's a compulsive liar. He's ill-informed. He's old. He's out of touch. But he's masculine. He's awful. He's awful for the United States. But people are advocating for him simply because they so tired of weak men. And men don't want to be run by women.
Yeah. And okay, can I just say this? Men don't want to be ran by women, but you have so many men that still call mama for everything.
Mm-hmm.
And
now that's a cultural thing.
Well, I ain't gonna say that because I work in the homes of the other kind too now.
Yeah.
They gonna make sure they on the phone with mama, and mama's gonna tell them how to run Susie and them, and and then Susie and them start to get tired, and then hey, mama, what I do now?
Yeah. Okay, but that's in terms of home. Men generally talk to men about business. We generally talk to men about structure. We generally, and if you disagree, I'm willing to hear because
because that's what I'm saying. You might talk to them in a barbershop, and I guess in construction and things of that.
But isn't that fair to say? Because why wouldn't I call my mother about my wife? I wouldn't call another man because if I call James, man, my wife having a menstrual, a menstrual cycle, and man, what I'm supposed to do? What the fuck I look like calling James?
But that ain't what you're calling your mom for. It's like stuff that should just kind of stick between you and wifey, but you feeling like let me just lay my feelings down right here because I don't feel like I can,
But that's much more house stuff. But in all fairness, truth be told, I don't think young men should take young girls to meet their mother. Young men should bring little girls to meet their fathers. He's inexperienced with girls. And women, black, white, or indifferent, advocate for other women. And a mother's perspective about a young girl may be, well, she'll probably grow out of it, and I'll be able to. Baby, she okay. I know girls. She'll be all right. She'll learn. She'll come around. But a man is gonna be like, son, I know a hoe when I see one.
Look at farm hella. Oh man.
I know a hoe when I see one. I know a manipulator when I see one.
Yeah.
I know a selfish person when I see one.
Daddy gonna keep it real.
Yes. Well, son, that ain't the one for you.
Mama gonna worry about hurting your feelings and
no, she's gonna advocate for a girl first because sometimes, and I hate to say it, sometimes women advocate for a woman first before their sons. But especially if she's raised her son to be her husband and her boyfriend.
That's where I was about to go with this.
Because now she's like, okay, well, if at that point she's saying, this is my baby, I want to make sure that I know this girl ain't hitting on nothing, but I recognize the sorcery in her, but at least I'll be able to relinquish him to her. Because there have been women that have said, well, that girl is strong enough to take care of my son because I know she'll take care of him like I take care of him. Because she's trained that boy to be the replacement for the man that she has not been able to obtain. So she trained him to go out on dates with her. She trained him to be, well, I got to go home and make sure, because my mama, I'm her first phone call, because I got to go get the groceries for her, and then I got to take her something for Valentine's Day. And, you know, me and my mom, we like to go out on dates, and we go, it's like, wait a minute. That's a assessment.
Yeah.
A son, husband, boyfriend type of relationship. And it's just like, now how is he developed? How he's stunning now. Because now he's looking for women that will replace his relationship that has been cultivated by his mama between the two of them. And so now, when that man that has been dependent upon his mother goes out and starts dating, he's looking for surrogate mothers. I want somebody that's gonna do me like my mama did me.
Yeah.
Whereas a father would have taught him, man, don't be dependent on nobody. You're the one that's gotta grin and bear it, and even if do what, boy? Man, you don't need to call your mama about that.
Yeah.
Figure that shit out. Look at YouTube.
Cause then y'all ain't sitting horses no more. Yeah.
I'm curious to see the direction you said you was going. You said,
well, you know, these mama boys, and I mean, you know, you find those husbands out there, and you be like, oh my goodness, you can't do nothing without your mama. You know that, and not to be ugly, but you know, that is where those weak men come in at. You know, the mama has made them husbands, and she thought everything was cute. She pushed the daddy out the house. She depended on the child support.
That's my baby.
You
don't treat my baby like that. No, don't treat my baby like that.
And you're not gonna have my baby around this woman and that woman. But yeah, so now he is her everything. And
he 4 years old. She got him in polo boots.
Ooh, chains on his neck, little wrist. Yeah, like why would you paint a pig? Yeah. You know, mud is their thing, you know.
I was curious where you were going with that. Like, I talked to my mom. I talked to my dad a lot more. I talked to my mom just to check on her. But in my adult life, I speak to my dad a lot more just because I feel like everything I'm going through, everything I'm gonna see, he's been through it. So I looked to him for that advice. But my mom, it's more so just to check on her, see how she's doing.
But see, that's why. And very few times do nowadays, not our generation, but maybe a little bit younger, there are a lot more single mothers now. And society would like to blame men for their being single mothers. See, you have a father, so you had an active father. There's a difference between having an active father and growing up in a house, because everybody's like, man, that man, it wasn't in his son's life. Well, my question before I start advocating, I'm going to ask, well, okay, what were the circumstances that led up to that man not being in that woman's life? Because we're not going to not hold women accountable, because they're if you ain't going to be with me, then you ain't going to be around your child.
Oh, yeah.
If you with some other woman, I don't want my child around that woman.
Yeah, very vindictive.
Right. Or if a man comes around and that woman is still hurt from him terminating the relationship, because we hear on one side of the coin, if you get with me and my child are a package deal.
That's the only person that goes lacking, because the parents are doing their own thing. I'm away from the both people are toxic because they can't come out with a solution for the betterment of the child. and the child is the one who's gonna go lacking, and then it's gonna be that next generation of that product.
The perpetuation of, you know, and again, and the bad part about that, the scary part about that is, from a male's perspective, we've been more defensive than offensive in terms of explaining our particular side about it. And the reason I say that is because it's hard for me to be working and providing for my family. It's if I'm working and providing for my family, I can't be somewhere defending accusations.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So if I'm all cards on the table, it was said, oh yeah, you could have been there for your son. And I said, how? You took him 3,000 miles away from me. If you took my son 3,000 miles away from me, and you're telling me I could have did more to be there for him, it would have taken me $1,500 to get there, plus the child support, plus the money that I would have been spending to be there, with going to dinner and whatever else, and then I got to come back and go to work. No, you could have stayed here for the betterment of the child so I could be in his life, because I was super active while you was here. Even when we weren't together, I was still active in my child's life.
Yeah.
But because you did what was best for you and not what was best for the child, and then while he was there, you got to feed him what it is that you wanted him to know about me. And so I had to learn how to parent over the phone, because it ain't like I'm making $200, $300, $100,000 a year at that time. So now I'm looking at it like, well, shit. No, I did the best I could with what I had the capability of doing. Now, the trips that I did make, there were different costs and there were different children. There was it was like, how? Oh, I'm supposed to adjust to you and what it is that you want, not you adjusting to, or us being on the same plane. Even though we are not together, let's co-parent and let's do what's best let's meet halfway in the middle. We're both gonna have to compromise.
Right.
No, that wasn't on the table. I was like, no, this is what I want to do. And this is what makes me feel better. And years later, I get to blame you for, now it's like, well, you need to say something to him. Well, I do what? Yeah. I need to come in and fix problems. Every time that boy got into some problems, you need to talk to him. You need to call him. You need to. Yeah.
Why didn't you let me yeah. But there are women that
can I parent over the phone?
Try to make it easy for a guy to be in his child's life, and then that guy is just like, I ain't gonna do it. I can't have you, so I don't want the child either. Like, you see that kind of stuff, and that's kind of,
in those situations though. Is that the guy that, like I mentioned about in the last episode about the, like, women going after guys that, like, daddy's like, no, that's not the guy for you. Like,
well, mama was saying that girl is fast and you need to get away from her, but you still went on. You got that baby. Now it's like, okay, boom.
Okay, so here's a happy medium between both of what y'all saying. Okay. My question would be, for the guy that's not wanting to be there for his child, and the woman wants to try to make it easy for him, my question is, how many children do that man have? Because if she was going out trying to make this man what he wasn't, And the same thing for the guy that's going out and he's got a baby by this girl. How many kids does she have?
All right, for both people, this is both people first child.
Okay. All right, both people first child. All right, now, because we're still having to unpack what type of discipline, and when I say discipline, I mean, does the man have his mama and his father in his life? Does the woman have her mother and her father in her life? Are we talking about Christian people? Are we talking about secular people? There are so many different ingredients in that.
Yeah.
You know, and when we're talking as far as now that a child is there have been people, regardless of whether or not I made a mistake or not, we often, in all of these conversations, we are forgetting that what's most important are the children.
Yeah.
You got a baby by this person. I don't give a fuck whether or not you like them or not.
Yeah, like let's.
If you love this child, how much? I guess this is the better question that I've been wanting to ask. How much or how little do you love your child? Because I seem to always come around to saying it on most shows. I think men love their families more than women do. Because if you're willing to get a divorce based off of whether or not you're happy, your happiness is not what's most important when it comes to this arrangement.
Okay, well, some men finally make it where they feel in their mind that they can take care of their responsibilities, their families and everything. And guess what? They walk off and leave everybody. And then they go over here to...
Okay, so how much of that is the responsibility of the insatiable person that they were with?
Man, you gonna put it off on the woman?
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying because if we can talk about men that leave their families, or we're talking about women that leave their families because of their happiness, I'm saying if you're talking about men that leave their families, what are they leaving for?
Yeah, I mean we don't. You know what I'm saying? We see this
that's
stuff.
a variable.
Yeah, we see this stuff.
With that being the variable, it's just like, all right, so at this point, so where are we now in the situation? This man is gone, right?
Now she got to be that strong, independent woman. You see what I'm saying? Like
I've only seen those instances where a man leaves from men that women shouldn't have been with in the first place, and the times when
That's what I was talking about.
like a man, the times I've seen, I don't know, I haven't seen most good men, trying men will go through hell and high water to be with their wife and family. Like it's like, man, this is my everything, my life. Like I'm gonna die for this person, and it's like, look, I'm here. I'm trying, and the people that I've seen leave, it's just been like, hell, I didn't want to fucking be with you anyway. Like, just from my experience, you know what I'm saying? But I don't have, you know, I've been with my wife since I was 19. I live in my little bubble.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So, just from my experience, that's all I've ever seen.
Every scenario, we could add a if to it. I think my perspective is the average. Because there are those one of ones. Because they like in Waiting to Exhale, that man left his wife, Angela Bassett's husband. It's like that doesn't happen on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Now, what does happen on a regular basis is you get two people that you can tell they ain't in love, but what it is that they have is stable.
okay.
And that actually is much more consistent because love puts y'all together. it doesn't keep y'all together.
Right.
That's why I always go back to discipline and loyalty and respect and all it, because everybody's like, you know, what about loyalty and respect? Which one you want, loyalty or respect? I want respect, because if you respect me, you're gonna be
It kind of go hand in hand.
Everything else will fall in
it's gonna
line.
fall.
well, loyalty, loyalty fades. If you loyal, if I'm a dope boy, if I got the product, you're gonna be loyal to me because I'm the one that I'm the plug.
Yeah.
As soon as I ain't, but if you respect me, you respect me even when I fall off.
Mhm.
Well, I know Mika. I know she bounced back. You know, she may be doing bad right now, but I respect the fact that her hustle is her hustle, and I'm gonna stay in her corner.
Yeah.
But if I'm loyal, I'm only loyal as long as you up.
Right.
You loyal to the need.
The benefit of what I
like,
can do for you.
In a Diddy situation, I'm quiet until it no longer serves me. Then
I done ran out of money.
You ain't gonna believe what Diddy did to me.
Yeah.
Especially if I miss the fame.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Especially in terms of relationship, if I either am in a position to where we are because I'm trying to find a way to keep a happy medium between what's expected, because my thing is I don't want to say something that's a masculine desire or need and then over here ignore a feminine desire, need, or you know, desire or need. And I'm trying to make sure that what it is that I'm saying is equal on both sides. So if there's somebody that leaves because they're not happy, or there's somebody that stays because they're not happy, or there's somebody that is committed to the family, or somebody that's committed to the legacy, it's almost as if arranged marriages work better, or political marriages work better, or marriages that aren't even formulated around love actually work better.
Yeah.
And the reason being is because I may not love you as much as I did when I was 23. I may love you more when I'm 33. And then that love fluctuates, and it is what it is by the time I'm 43 and 53. It's just like, you've been there. You've been there.
It's stability, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
Because because what ends up, I always speak of two situations.
Come on.
When the house is on fire,
Mm-hmm.
or wiping my butt in my mouth.
Yeah.
Those two situations dictate a lot. Because I think I got the right one. Because if I leave out of here right now, have an accident and this slob coming down,
yeah. That's why I was missing the other shows, because I've been doing that slob, and you know.
Yeah. And that's a beautiful point to make in this particular portion of the conversation, based on the fact that the ebb and flow is dictated not by strength or wealth, or it's dictated by duty.
Mm-hmm.
It's dictated by honor.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I made a pledge to you, and I even know that if I were in this position, I could trust you to do the same.
Yeah.
I'll throw a rock and hit a motherfucker upside the head. Right?
You hear me? They thought about it. Yeah. That's right.
I don't look to my wife for happiness. Like, I mean, I pretty much our entire relationship has just been, my expectation has just been peaceful cooperation. Like, I'm not looking, oh, well, you need to buy me this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I can do pretty much anything that I need, you know what I mean? Like, but I'm just really looking for peace. I don't know if that's right, wrong, indifferent.
Well, no, there's a difference with, well, not a difference. When we get into the abstracts are most important. I don't.
between?
Yeah, I was about to say define that.
Okay, the abstracts are more important. And if we're talking about love language, anybody says that they have a love language of gifts, that is a horrible person. And I'm willing to say it out loud. If your love language is gifts, and those gifts are based off of the value of those gifts, if your love language is based off of the value of a gift, then you are a horrible person. Because my thing is, the abstracts that I need in life are based off of how can I depend on you?
Okay.
Can I trust you? Can I confide in you? Can I know that if all the chips, all the blocks that I'm juggling, if they fall, you will help me get them back in my arms, and you'll feed them back to me so I can get back a good rotation. And you're gonna turn around and cheer me on, and when we on the street and you're gonna pass around the collection plate or the hat or the whatever, and all the money come in, we're gonna be somewhere later on that night eating Subway or Waffle House, and we're gonna laugh. Yeah, I dropped the shit out of them damn blocks, and it was like, yeah, but baby, we made this, and there was even some coins. If I can trust that when the kids are gone, the stars are not shining, and it's dark and it's storming outside, we're gonna figure out a way to just chill out and enjoy each other's company.
Yeah.
That's the abstract that is most important. It ain't what we living at, because we can make a cardboard box comfortable.
Yeah. You seen that on In Living Color.
Yeah. Who's gonna do that clearance?
So, yes. When you say the love language is gifts, do you mean like the person giving the gifts or the person that wants to receive the gifts?
Okay, okay. So and we've had this conversation, you and I, because when we're talking about, let's say, a gift. Now, if a giver is giving to a receiver, if your love language is always receiving and you just like those gifts, yeah, you're a horrible person.
Yeah, you are a horrible person. Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that.
Yeah. But if a giver gets with a giver,
ooh,
if you gave me that, you remember when the Smurfs had the little figurines when we were younger, and they came in all different characters. And if we had been having a conversation 10 years ago about how I used to have this little Smurf, and it had the Darth Vader helmet on it and the whole nine, and then all of a sudden you go on vacation and you run across that. When you bring that gift back to me, that Smurf with the Star Wars or with the Darth Vader helmet does not mean anything to me. What means the most is the fact that you remembered that conversation.
Yeah.
And you thought enough of me when you were out on vacation.
Yeah.
10 years later.
Yeah. Oh, wow. You like an elephant. You don't forget anything. Like, seriously. But that
means the most, not that gift, because I'm gonna lose it. Even if hurricane comes and all of my valuables are lost, what I get to remember is and that's like when people call me for my birthday. I don't need a gift. The fact that it's 365 days in a year, you remembered mine.
Yeah.
That's what's most important, not what you can get, because I'm going to lose, or I could lose what it is that you gifted me.
But that memory gonna last.
Maya Angelou said, people don't remember what you say, but they remember how you make them feel.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So that's why I say it's not about the gift. or if I have a mindset of what it is that you're going to do for me, now eventually I'm going to make sure that I keep setting the bar higher. And as soon and on the very day that you don't meet my expectation, now you're no longer valuable to me.
I'm going to the highest bidder.
There it is.
That's your
That's
thing.
prostitution.
That's his thing right there. Yeah.
Prostitution. If a woman leaves a man because she thinks that another man can do more for her, that's prostitution.
Well, men do that. So what do you call them?
Yeah, they prostitutes, they hold, they users. That there are. If a man is in a position to where he thinks that another 9 times out of 10 he was raised by a woman and he's looking for a better mama.
Ooh, say that one more time. We gotta close the show on that. Ooh.
If a man leaves a woman because he think he can do better, he's just looking for a better mama.
Y'all gonna have to make y'all sons be accountable. Y'all men be accountable. Cause women, if you want to stop being so independent,
start becoming better pickers of men.
Yeah.
Cause anytime a woman has a rash of men that are no good, as opposed to saying that men are not good, you need to become a better picker. And for a guy that sits around and he looks and sees 3 or 4 different men in his circle that ain't hitting no shit, 9 times out of 10 you ain't hitting no shit either, because y'all friends.
That accountability gap.
It's everywhere. I don't care what it is. If you do not give accountability, that's even on your job. If you cannot give accountability, you can't get that raise. You know you got to put in the work in order to get that next promotion. So if you want a good man, Savannah,
put that value out there.
That's right. Know your worth. Don't just let somebody get in there with the muddy boots on.
Yeah.
In that Ford Vaginet. Let me ask y'all a question. So y'all know Kamala Harris, and I'm sorry I didn't ask this earlier. Y'all know Kamala Harris she's faced criticism for her days as a prosecutor. So do y'all feel like that's impacted her public image, especially like with younger voters or more progressive voters?
Oh, in a way, because they're like she's the worst. When it came to doing her job, she made sure all the young black people went to jail, and or the mostly they're saying black men. You get what I'm saying? So that has put a real damper, black cloud over anything that she probably could really do to get the job. Because when you go on these sites and you see people that's not with her, it is a lot of black males that are like, no, you just see her doing her job in the beginning. You see where she came from. All she wanted to do is put us in jail. What's gonna be different now? Then, like he said, she's been absent the other time, so you don't know what her pitch is, other than we making history and being the first black woman president. So how do you feel? To answer your question.
I agree. As far, whenever I hear people talk about her, it's hard to overlook the fact that she's been in the office for the last 4 years. But it's like, what did you lock yourself in the bathroom? Like, we ain't heard nothing from you. We heard more from Michelle Obama as a first lady than we have from Kamala Harris as a...
But I'm still asking, do y'all think they did that on purpose? Like, the vice president, their job is to be the vice president. Everybody said, what has she done the last 4 years? But she's not the president. So what was she supposed to be doing the last 4 years?
We heard from Mike Pence as VP, prior to her.
White male.
They had that poor woman locked in that kitchen cooking.
Do you hear me? She put a recipe out about collard greens, how she do her greens. So,
She did. She washed her greens in her tub.
Yeah, you don't eat where you shit. So, but my perspective about, no, you good. No, my perspective about what, ask the question again because it's twofold.
Okay.
What she's done in the last 4 years. Right?
No, did it dampen?
Did her?
District attorney.
She's faced criticism as a prosecutor. So has that affected her political image?
Yes, because if that's the only thing that you've done that people can grab, if you're in politics and you've been a district attorney, also a senator, and a whole bunch of other stuff before you became a vice president, if they're talking about you've not done anything since you've been a vice president, let's get up over you being a senator because you didn't do nothing there, and then the impact of what it is that you. What if hypothetically she was notoriously the way that she was because of some resentment towards black men? And I'm just me putting something on the table.
I got to hear this.
So and I'm saying if there were a tie to that, I'm saying because you've done so little in one of the highest positions that a black woman has ever been in, you don't get to let somebody quiet you, especially taking into consideration if you were given the border crisis to control. And that was a beautifully, and I said it the last time, it was a beautifully executed plan. And the reason that I say it was a beautifully executed plan was because if she was over or had involvement with border control, and it was clearly a failed plan in terms of keeping people out.
Okay.
It was failed because by the time that those people overran the border and they got over here and then you started to give them entitlements, that means you probably let the border become compromised because you don't give two people that compromise the integrity of your boundaries. You don't give them entitlements. If somebody break in my house and like, shit, now that you made it in, here's my fine china and my good whiskey. They've given them fine china and good whiskey. So did she fail at the border, or did she act, was her intentions was to act like she's controlling it, never go down there to see what needs. You cannot fix what you don't see is wrong. So she never went down there to see where it was being compromised. I cannot allocate money towards what needs to be fixed. And you don't need to have any type of involvement to say there's not enough troops to stop people. There's not enough border patrol officers to stop the amount of people that are coming over. If there are millions coming over and you got hundreds protecting it, that's just like me trying to put a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound.
Oh, no, you need to come in and let me get you cleaned up and let them prep. Yeah, I'm about to prep you.
I'm telling you, like Mika told you in one episode, I'm telling you right now, you're going to die.
Don't die, yeah. Yeah, I'm for real. You put that Band-Aid on there, I'm telling you, because I need to apply that pressure on there so you're not shooting out.
She never went down to the border. And her thing was, I never been to Europe either. Shit.
You know Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yeah, but Air Force One can go anywhere.
Yeah.
What do you say to people that say, well, Donald Trump told his people to block everything she's trying to do at the border? All right, so Trump has faced some legal battles since January 6th. Do you feel like that impacts his chances of winning?
Does it impact what?
His chances of winning.
When do we stop when did America stop advocating for criminals? When did we stop advocating for criminals? Because we still spend money of slave owners that got slave owner faces on them. We still celebrate we celebrate dropouts. Bill Clinton, not Bill Clinton. Bill Gates was a college dropout.
Steve
Jobs. Mark Cuban. No, Cuban, did he graduate? No, I think he dropped out. Most billionaires were college dropouts. Most business owners are not the smartest. Most tycoons we celebrate people in the tobacco industry because they get incentives to get people hooked on cigarettes. They get if they're the top salesman, and if Big Pharma says that if you get enough people hooked on drugs, we're going to give you golden parachutes. We're going to give you bonuses. We're going to give you a whole bunch of stuff. But now if you sell weed,
lock your black ass up.
Right.
Whoa, yes. That is it right there. Yes.
So the American way is America again started on the East Coast, and we took our way all the way to the California coastline. We took it. We even said to the Native Americans, "Yeah, we want that property, and we're willing to steal and kill to have it. And once we took enough of you out, we're gonna push you across, and we're gonna push you up north and across the United States, that we don't know what's over there, but y'all gotta go over there." And then when we found out that they were doing good over there, shit, we coming to take that too.
Yeah.
Right. America,
I've seen people cry before.
When have we not celebrated that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jordan, everybody watched The Last Dance. And we was like, man, Jordan's an asshole. And the shoe prices went up.
Sure did. Yes.
Kobe Bryant.
People don't even have insurance on their life or their children's life, but everybody got on Jordans.
When Donald Trump was a real estate tycoon before becoming a president, do you understand what tycoon means?
Define.
Asshole.
So real estate tycoon. What are you saying to people that say that he robbed and cheated his way?
Well, he did. He did. I mean, because and that's
the
what,
part they celebrate.
Yeah, but also that's what generational wealth is created from, because what'll end up happening is, if I can create a product and if I come up with a product all right, this is the best way I can explain that question that you just had.
Okay.
When the lady came into the shop, and I said, and she was just talking about the immigrants. This was back when President Obama was in office, and she was just like, well, it's just like the immigrants, and I said, well, which Republicans don't like immigrants? And she was just like, what do you mean? I said, which Republicans don't? I said, because if I'm a Republican and I own a corporation or a business, I want cheap labor that I can pay under the table, that I don't have to provide health care for.
Yeah.
But you have the other Republicans that are saying they taking our jobs and we hate the immigrants. Well, if I'm the one that own the business, 9 times out of 10, I make enough money to pay for a lobbyist or to write a check to a politician that is allowing immigrants to come over here, because I'm telling him, This check is for you to turn a blind eye to some of those people that I will get to work for me to come over here. So again, I ask which Republicans don't like immigrants.
Yeah.
I said that to say, when we're looking at all of what is bad, and because it's just like, well, I question the question is about Trump, right? Like him being
There's
taking
legal issues.
Yeah. Legal issues. I mean, what are we talking about? Because we celebrate the lawbreakers. It's the American way.
Bad boy.
Yeah.
And they love it.
Because when they're successful, like, oh man, bro, you don't get a $600-700 million, $1 million home following rules.
Ooh.
You don't get to go to the country club playing by the rules.
Ooh. Make it plain.
Yeah, the people that we aspire to be like, the reason that we can't be like those, the reason that we can't have the lifestyle of the people that we envy is because you have morality.
Oh.
You're not willing to look at an old lady and be like, so you don't have any family here? So you say you want $200 for that Ferrari that your husband left, and it's like, oh, well, will you take $150 for it?
Yeah, 200 is a little high.
You know, or is it like, well, do you mind if I buy some of this property, and I want that piece right there in the middle? Because because what I understand about buying property, if you sell me that piece in the middle, I can go down to the courthouse and tell the judge they won't let me buy the surrounding land.
Yeah.
And according to America, that judge will say, in order to bring some piece to this, y'all need to come up with a price that'll make this man whole, because he's not going to be able to do anything with that piece of property in the middle. That's how property is taken from families.
Yeah.
That's why it's not good to have heir property.
Ooh.
Somebody needs to be in control of it all.
Yes.
Because if one little piece gets sold to somebody that's not in the family, that one person can take everybody's inadvertently.
Yeah.
Yes. He just dropped some real knowledge. And our community really needs to hear that.
But our egos get in the way.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants control. Everybody want to run a business, and they ain't never took no business class.
And you can tell. Just jump on Facebook.
Yeah.
Instagram. Yeah, you can tell.
All right, we're starting to ramble.
Yeah. So
Look at it. He want another thing. He don't give a farm analysts say they gonna hear him tonight.
One more, and then we gotta hit the road. Put it out there, man.
I don't have enough.
You ain't gotta worry about hurting feelings and stuff. This what the podcast is about. Make them think. Come outside the box. Don't just stay in the box. Yeah, well, this has been a great episode.
Yeah, we're glad that you're back with us, and
thank you guys.
You know, the journey was long and arduous, but you made it through.
Yeah. I'm a good wife.
No doubt. No doubt.
Can't nobody take that from me.
So where do you guys want to lead the conversation for next week?
Well, I think they're gonna give us something to talk about next week, because the closer that it gets, to the Diddy stuff, and the closer that it gets to election time, people are going to lose their minds.
Yeah.
Oh, they ready for you. Cause it's like you're making great points, but at the same time they're like, she's a black woman, and it don't sound like you rolling with her, and we want to know what's going on. So you just get ready, cause those comments are gonna be coming.
Don't you be ruffling no feathers, you son of a bitch. All right, man.
Ooh, yes.
You guys have any closing comments?
Victim shaming is okay. So, because you got to be held accountable. You know, don't be somewhere. You know, don't be at a Diddy party when the nakedness starts coming out, and then all of a sudden, when you get a videotape of you doing some compromising things, you mad that somebody recorded you. You could have left.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to leave early. Do not go where you're not being celebrated. You're only being tolerated. Some of those people were only being tolerated.
Yeah.
That's why they're on tape.
I've seen it all over my timeline. Ice Cube has never been to a Diddy party.
He said no. For what? He like us. I enjoy my own company, my own. Like, I ain't got time for that. I'm working all the time. What I don't want to go out. I'm my own body.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, until next time, folks.
Adios.
Yes.
Peace.
Don't be the victim.
Or go to a Diddy party.
Be victorious.